Welcome back, champions. I hope you're all fantastic. It's time for another installment of Friday Q&A. As always, if you have questions you would like me to answer for next week's Q&A, please put them in the comments section below. If you check the video description, there are a bunch of links if you want to support the channel. Otherwise, let's get into this week's questions. Question number 1, do I own a Telly? Yes, this is my Warmouth Parts Caster Telly. Kind of standard butterscotch blackguard thing. It's got a big old ragdoll sticker on it in case I forget which band I play for. And the neck's unfinished. It's got big stainless frets, and these are Jason Lollar vintage Telecaster style pickups. I think it sounds really, really good. I actually wrote a bunch of ragdoll songs back in the day on this guitar in like drop B or drop C or something like that. I remember having it tuned down like a baritone for a long time, and I've done a bunch of gigs on this playing heavy rock music, and it works great. But I've got one of the Dr., as we would say down here, Dr. Z models. I think Americans say Dr. Z, with some reverb and some trem, and it does that kind of swampy, rootsy thing really, really well. So yeah, I like this guitar. Every time I pull it out, I kind of think to myself, why don't I play this more often? And no tone control, so I can't do the Roy Buchanan thing on it. I really should add a tone control to it though. It just does the thing. I think that's a large spring reverb. Bit of trem on there as well. Where are the questions for this week? This first one comes from Mojo Bodies. How do you reamp with the Axe-FX 3 and the DAW of your choice? The Axe-FX 3 is a USB audio interface. So if you use it as the interface, reamping is really straightforward. I've got a video up on my channel which you can find all about that. And it works really, really well. I've used it to record some stuff. If you've listened to the guitar solo for the ragdoll song Rust, I actually reamped that one using my Axe-FX 3. And there you go, you can go and listen to that if you actually want to hear that it does indeed work. This next one comes from PRS Dave 22. Knows that I'm a big Simpsons fan. Yes, the Simpsons is, it's for my generation, it is such an important piece of media. Favorite episode / scene. I'm gonna say my favorite scene is the Froget scene, just because I had a really cool physics teacher in year 11 and year 12, and we recited that almost every single day, and that still absolutely slays me. I've been rewatching a bunch of The Simpsons and a bunch of Futurama on that new Disney streaming service, and yeah, it's awesome. Favorite episode would be a really tough one to pick. I will literally take any episode from season 5, high watermark in my opinion, or the classic one is the Do It For Her episode as well. That one immediately springs to mind. So yeah, they would be those, but I'd probably change my opinion if you asked me on another day. So lots of people were pretty stoked that I got the 7. Look out for some more videos with that. And I did do a 7-minute tones video with it over the weekend if you want to hear it with the JP2C on the Axe-FX 3. Alrighty, there's a bunch of people I think who kind of get the last thing that I talked about in my last video about like why bother with music. I think, if you play and it's in your blood, like I said last time, why bother with anything at all? That's what we're here for. And some really good stories. So go and read the comments section from last week, and that really made me, just kind of feel good and think about a lot of things. And it's nice to get other people's take on why they still play music, and some of you into your 60s and 70s, which is amazing. That's totally where I want to be at when I am that age. Alrighty, there was another question that I feel like I missed last week, which I will have to try to remember. Oh no. Question from Instagram. Basically, you got a bunch of guitars and you got a milestone birthday coming up, 40th or 50th, and you have guitars that you don't play, but you don't necessarily want to get rid of them, but you want to get a really, really nice guitar. Tough one, but as someone who owns lots of kind of nice guitars, I would rather own fewer nice guitars than a bunch of like semi-okay ones or ones that I never play. So in that case, I would definitely enable you, say, sell a bunch of stuff, get something really, really tasty and something that you're going to play, because it's about playing at the end of the day. but also at the same time, gear is fun as well. So can't really give you a super definitive one right there. A lot of Scorpions fans as well, which is super cool. Again, I've been listening to lots of the Scorpions and working on something which should be out in the next couple of weeks. Just trying to get some of Matthias's lead parts down is way harder than it sounds. Fantastic band. Alrighty. Thoughts about Monster Magnet? Really, really fun band. I remember seeing photos of Monster Magnet back in the day, and they kind of, as a younger kid, they were just my impression of what every rock and roll band looked like. And when I finally got around to listening to them, they were not what I expected. They're almost like a psychedelic Motorhead in my book. So super cool. I think they put out something like 5 or so years ago, which I remember listening to and really enjoying. Have I ever played a Godin, apologies to my Canadian friends, a Godin Multiac? I have. They're really, really cool guitars. I feel like if I was going to get a standalone guitar to use with a GK, something like that, so you can kind of do the Al Di Meola thing. Does Al play a nylon string, or does he have a steel string with a GK pickup on it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, the Godin stuff is really, really good, and in my experience, really, really consistent. And this is, what is happening here with this? Okay, this is a great suggestion, and I had never heard of this or even thought about this. This one is from Sir D. You can take a 7-string and you can tune the lowest string to B, you can tune your G string to F sharp, so now the low 6 strings are like a standard tune baritone, and you got a high string. That's amazing. I've been playing around with that. I think I have to do a video about just 7-string tunings, because that one blew my mind. So thank you for that one. That's a really, really cool suggestion. This one comes from Travis Russell, DC. Where would be the best place to visit for a couple from Chicago if you want to come to Australia? Really depends on what you like. Australia has a handful of really big cities, which are big cosmopolitan kind of globalized cities, which you would probably feel very at home in if you're from Chicago. But most people seem to hit the East Coast, specifically the Northeast Coast. You know, if you go to like Cairns and Port Douglas, the Barrier Reef, that part of the world is truly unique and magical, and it is slightly more accessible than my side of the country. You'd have to, you know, get in a plane for another 5 hours or something like that. So yeah, kind of hard to go past sort of like Queensland and the Northeast and just, yeah, the entire East Coast. But if you do come over to WA, the Southwest is amazing, absolutely amazing. You know, kind of like our, it's a lot more like the south of France or somewhere like that, or I guess our version of Napa Valley or something. So yeah, they would be my suggestions. Don't go to Canberra, put it that way. Apologies to anybody watching from Canberra, but you know what I mean. This one is from Josh Floyd. How frustrating is it for me to know that if I could play something and get a copyright strike? It's I feel like YouTube's got better about this kind of thing. You know, I'm not doing Rick Beato style stuff where I'm dissecting songs or stuff like that. So, you know, a kind of sneaky little AC/DC riff here or there. But let's trial this, and will this get me a copyright strike? We'll find out. Yeah, that's what Creedence Clearwater AC/DC would sound like right there. A few people mentioned the dual thing with the JP7 as well. I'm going to hook that up, and I will definitely do some presets about all of that. That was pretty cool. Who flipped the bridge pickup on my Les Paul? Oh no, sorry, on the Petrucci. I think the 7s come with the bar that way. I've seen a few others that way. Mine's from 2009. But if there's any Music Man experts in the comments, let me know about that. Like, do I have a weird guitar? But I have seen other photos with the bar towards the bridge. So, and a few people said the piezo is, or pizzo, or piezo. It's actually pizza pickup, which makes me hungry now. I should have eaten some lunch. This is doing some really, really strange stuff right here. Yeah, and there are a few really fun kind of gig stories in there as well. Again, you should all read the comments because you all weigh in with some great stuff. Less questions and more good stories. So yeah, this is awesome. This one's from Wolf Den's Music. You're multitasking, watching the video while working on other stuff, and you hear me play some Fleetwood Mac on drop A. Yeah, the clean tone on that Petrucci is awesome. The bridge pickup and the neck pickup I do not like for clean stuff. They sound great for dirty stuff, but it's that middle position which I think just is really on the money. Alrighty, where are we at in here? I should have kind of read ahead. Actually, this is a really good question. Fedboy21, how to make guitar interesting again? I lost interest in playing guitar because of COVID-19, made you lose all the gigs. Almost a year you didn't touch or bother playing the guitar. That is rough, and I'm sure there are a bunch of other people out there in a similar situation. I also lost most of my gigs. We've been really lucky down here where we've been able to kind of get back to normal. I've spoken about this before, but yeah, that's rough. I guess my advice would be, if you want to get into it, make sure you're getting it back into it for the right reasons. It might be worth trying to remind yourself why you got into playing guitar. What made you want to pick up a guitar for the first time? And what music are you listening to now? It might be a case, and you can fill me in on this, I can answer more of it next week, but if it's a case of you're not playing music that you're sitting around listening to, maybe try playing some of the music that you like to listen to, or try playing another style, or just try learning a different thing. If you're primarily someone who plays electric guitar with a pick, try play acoustic guitar fingerstyle and learn a bunch of songs, or practice on singing and playing if that's something that you can't do. Have a growth mindset to it. That is the big thing with all of this. Approaching it as every time you pick up a guitar is an opportunity to maybe just learn one little thing or try something different, to actually play the guitar the way a young kid would play, I don't know, with a stick and some mud. Try to be creative with it. That would be my advice, rather than just operate the guitar and do the same things over and over again. Another one from Josh Floyd, can I play some Winger on the next Q&A? I didn't get a chance to get around to that, but instead you can go and watch my 5 killer riffs Winger video. That one was really, really fun. Wade Bergen, are you not champions anymore? You are champions today. You might be legends tomorrow and then champions the next day. So thanks for that, Wade. I hope you're doing really well, mate. It's good to hear from you. And a lot of people are now trying to enable me to get an 8-string. So let me know in the comments, what are your favorite 8-string guitars and brands? Because I know nothing about 8s. I'm sure this will happen at some point. Maybe like a Strandy or something like that. Alrighty, and this one is from Eric Olson. How could I spend 22 minutes with a Piezo 7-string and not play A Change of Seasons? That's a good point. The answer is because I can't play A Change of Seasons. I've been trying to actually work on some Dream Theater stuff and just getting pummeled, as you would expect. So maybe I should do a 5 killer riffs Dream Theater. That might be a fun one. Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Try to pick up the guitar, play around with it, try something different, have some fun, and I'll play you all out with this nice Verbi Trem Telly. I didn't play the Telly much today. My apologies. Questions for next week, put them in the comments. All the usual links in the video description. Stay excellent. Cheers.